Welcome to my sitting room in Taroona on a rainy Tasmanian afternoon where we're launching my new book, The Beautiful Mother. There would have been lots of lovely events all around the country beginning today, tonight in fact, with a launch at Hadley's Hotel. But all of these things, as you know, have been cancelled. Nevertheless, we still want to mark this special moment, and I need my chance to say thank you to all the people that have been a part of the journey of the beautiful mother. Well, one thing that's good about the fact that this thing isn't happening today is that it is raining, and I would have been full of anxiety that nobody was going to come to my party. So at least I've been saved from that. But of course, in fact, it would have been fantastic to all be together and have a glass of wine and celebrate. But that will happen in the future. Those of you that have come to my launches before know that I always like to wear a very special dress. The last one, probably on the theme of rock chic, I would say. Today, I was always planning to do something different. And I'm wearing this linen shirt which my father bought back in 1957 when he first set off for Africa. He was advised to go off to a store in London where you bought all the exploring clothes, pith helmets, things like that. And he got this shirt. It's a beautifully made linen shirt. So this is the ultimate in slow fashion. And the reason I was going to wear it today, two reasons. One, because we are trying to not just spend money and acquire more things. So this is a recycled shirt for this occasion. And I guess it's also a bit of a tribute to both of my parents, harking back to that time. And as many of you know, they are really central to the inspiration for my African writing. So to start with a thank you to Dimmicks Hobart, because they're the hosts of the occasion that we were having at Hadley's. Kate and Ian and their fantastic staff, I'm very grateful for your support. And of course, they're still selling books now, as are Hobart Bookshop and some others in Hobart. And Hadley's Hotel, I've got my Hadley's notepad here. The reason I've got this is because, as you know, they always support the writers' festivals and give us heaps of free stationery, and it would have been a lovely place to have the event. Now, I want to just say some more thank yous, because that's really one of the nicest parts about having a launch, really the most important part, I think. So first of all, to Ali Watts, my publisher, this is book number 5 that we've done together, and honestly, we never exchange a crossword, and she's incredibly supportive. I send the books to her chapters at a time, maybe a bunch of 4 or 5, wait on tenterhooks because I never really can tell how it's going. So she's like my coach as well. And yes, just thank you to her. The whole team at Penguin Random House, all playing their amazing part. Justin Radcliffe, Head of Publishing, and Lou Ryan, Manager of Publishing in particular. They have really made, as you can see, the most beautiful edition. This cover, it's just going to look so good in all the online media that we're going to be doing around this book, social media sharing, and of course in the bookshops for people who walk in and see this beautiful thing on the shelf. Now I want to thank my agents for the part they've played in bringing this book together. They've got the complicated task now in this crazy world that we're in of what to do about offers on the table and trying to find new homes for this book. And I'm just glad that they totally believe in it and always support me so much. So thank you very much. That's I've got Fiona Inglis in Sydney, Kate Cooper in London, and Anouk Ferg in Munich. And all of you, thank you for all of the work that you're going to be doing. Now, before we go any further, I just want to acknowledge that there is meant to be someone else sitting here right beside me in one of these empty chairs. My dear friend and colleague, Dr. Joss Nettlefold, who was to be in conversation with me at this launch. And there would have been just so many really insightful questions, tricky questions, lots of jokes and laughter, and I just want to say we're definitely going to do this at some stage. I'm not missing out on that. So Joss, thank you in advance for what's coming next. Now to the family, which is always a big focus. And this book is all about family. It's about finding your own tribe. It's not always, or not always your family, and it's not always the tribe that you recognise most easily. These gorgeous flowers arrived today, delivered to the door in the rain, and they've come from my clan, my family, and thank you so much to them. We're having a family Zoom meeting later where there will in fact be champagne and not water. Now, Roger always, he's filming this, so Roger always incredibly closely on my books, and this is no exception. And some of the things you can see here relate to the inspiration from the story, which was a series that Roger directed years ago called The Human Journey, about the origin of our species. And really, The Beautiful Mother is about who we are as humans. So here I have the Neanderthal skull. It's not real, because if it was real, it would be 500,000 years old. But you can see by the brow ridge that it's, 300,000, sorry, I'm not good with numbers. You can see by the brow ridge that this is not Homo sapien. Also here, which was going to be at the launch event at Hadley's, this is an Acheulean tool, a genuine Acheulean tool made by a Neanderthal. And it probably, this actual thing in my hand is probably 300,000 years old. So we were going to bring a special security guard to look after it for the evening. But so, just thank you to Roger, because the research behind this book is so massive. The whole of our species history, which is very complicated. Luckily, Roger knows it all, never forgets anything, and shared very generously, and also read all of the chapters and was just played the role that he always plays. So, thank you. Johnny's always there with his creative sort of mad streak, but at the same time, this steady, strong person supporting me. Thank you, Johnny. And he also has made me a fantastic new website. And you have to think that there is, sometimes we say, a gift that keeps on giving, but the website is the gift that you have to keep on giving. Johnny gets a call from me every second day saying, could you update this or could you fix that? So he's always patient and ready to do it. So a huge thank you, Johnny. And Lyndon. I'm going to say mad again, wonderful creative spirit to share my life with. It's just fantastic to be able to make work and share work creatively with my whole family the way that I do. And there's a picture that I've been using and discussing with this book, and this is actually Lyndon having his first dip in the sea in the Tasmanian east coast. In the light, like that. It's not working, never mind. It's a precious family photograph, and it's relating to the fact that, of course, both of my boys were central to the inspiration for me of a book that is all about motherhood. Mum and Dad, I've mentioned you in connection with the shirt, and sometimes I think all of this African writing, all of these novels is partly a celebration of my love for you and my appreciation of the heritage that you've given me. And I know you moved to Hobart 2 years ago just so that you could be here for the launch when it came around. Instead, you'll be in your own sitting room in Taroona. But at least you're here at these difficult times. Thank God for that. Hilary, my baby sister. She is someone who I can always feel completely safe with in sharing my very first writing along with Roger. And I can't tell you how precious that is, because she reads the kind of writing I like, and she is just always warm, encouraging, frank, and absolutely don't know how I could have written this book without you. Claire, the matriarch, of the family, of our generation, always makes us feel safe, caring. She's a very wise reader, and she also read this book in process and contributed her thoughts. And a big thank you to her. Andrew, I guess my brother, my only brother, the patriarch of our generation too, again, always there with wisdom and support and a cheeky smile, especially when times get a bit rough. Thank you, Andrew. Then there are the in-laws. We've got a great crew of people that have joined our tribe because we were a bit small when we first came here from England and Africa. And now we've got cousins, we've got Hamish, Vanessa, Martin, Marianne, and many more people, which I'm very grateful for. Now, the mother-in-law character in The Beautiful Mother is actually one of the most interesting characters that I think I've ever created. So please look out for her. And that leads me, because I'm not a mother-in-law, but I sort of am, to the person to whom I have dedicated this book, which is Freya. So we have a very, she's Johnny's partner, long-time partner, and I really wanted to dedicate this book to her because there is a very special relationship between two women that we have, an older one and a younger one. And she read the manuscript. She was one of the people that I trusted to give me frank feedback, which is always frightening, and she was fantastic. And actually, in family history goes the account of how I thought she was talking about the end of my book that I'd given her to read. She was talking about a different novel, told me how disappointing it was, and it was a really dreadful moment and such relief when we realised that she actually wasn't talking about The Beautiful Mother. But she loves this book too, and I'm very, very proud to have dedicated it to her. Then friends, gosh, this is all way too long for a Facebook post already, but and I can't name all of you, but it takes 2 years plus to write a novel. That joke about how many electricians of an undisclosed nationality it takes to change a light bulb. I just wonder how many friends it takes to support a novelist through 130-odd thousand words of a writing journey. And I can tell you it takes a lot of friends and it takes a lot of real friendship. And I've been blessed with all of that. And so thank you to all of you. You know exactly who you are, and this book wouldn't be here without you. Then there are, of course, my fellow authors. We don't compete with one another. We support and celebrate one another. And Rachel Treasure has just phoned me before to say she's in her sitting room right now with a special frock on, having her own launch of The Beautiful Mother. And I'm sure that many more others of you will be doing the same. And booksellers, I've mentioned Dimmicks, they are absolutely the people behind us, obviously. Thank you to them, and for soldiering on in these difficult times, as many of you have. So I really want just to mention my good friend and colleague, Heather Rose. You all know and love her books very well, and if you haven't read Bruni, it's time to grab it right now. Now, Heather's just been really supportive to me with sharing information and about The Beautiful Mother on social media and on the mainstream media, so a big thank you to her. They say that books sell by word of mouth, and that's what I'm counting on now. So all of the sharing that everybody's been doing is really, really important to me, and thank you very much for that. And last but not least, all of you, all of the readers. Some of you are friends and family and colleagues, and others are people who've just come across my work, and you write to me and tell me how you respond. And well, I wouldn't be able to be a professional novelist without your support and without your emotional support when you do reach back to me with your responses. So I celebrate all of you tonight. We've gone from afternoon to night in the course of this clip. I guess that's okay. But yes, here we are. We've actually launched The Beautiful Mother, and thank you very much. Cheers. Water. Oh, yeah, that's done.
Is it?
Yeah,
You finished?
I have.